Hey guys, Chef Nick here with Cook Everything. I apologize about the lighting. It is very late, but I just wanted to get this video uploaded for you guys tonight. This is a video on how to butcher a whole chicken. It goes over the basics of butchering a whole chicken, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It takes some practice. It's very easy, but it does take some practice. So just watch the video several times. Learn how to locate the joints of the chicken. That is going to be the most important part. There's several different ways you can break down a chicken, but I wanted to show you guys because in any recipe that we're using any sort of chicken, we are also going to be using whole birds. So I just wanted to walk you guys through the process of the way I break down a chicken, and hopefully you learn something. And just remember, it takes some practice to get good at it, but it is a great way to get the most for your money, and it's also a great way to purchase a minimally processed product from the grocery store. So without further ado, let's cut up a chicken. Okay, so here I have one whole free-range organic chicken that I got from a local farm here in the state of Georgia. So the first thing we want to do is remove the wishbone. The wishbone is a U-shaped bone that runs from one breast to the other. You just want to locate that with your finger, and just with the tip of your knife, cut a small incision on the top and a small incision right underneath the bone. Try not to go in too deep. And then with your index finger and your thumb, stick your fingers in the incision and run them up until you feel the tip of the bone. Pull that out, and then just kind of wiggle the bottom two pieces out, and it should slide out without any issue. And it looks like that right there. Okay, so next we're gonna take off our wing tips and our wing flat. The thing about chickens is they are very, very easy to cut if you locate the joints properly. So here we're gonna locate the joint with our finger, and the joint is just simply anywhere that the chicken can bend, like right here where we're going to make our cut. That's where you should make your knife cut. So locate the joint and just slide your knife straight through. I wasn't cutting through any bone whatsoever. It's all about knowing the anatomy of the animal that you're trying to butcher. So you might have a little bit of trouble finding it at first, but with practice comes perfect. I mean, watch this video 100 times. See how I do it, and then try to go tackle it yourself. So I just like to leave the wingtip on. And the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to make two small incisions right between the leg and the breast, and then we're going to place our thumbs in the incision and the rest of our fingers behind, and we're just going to push that bone out right there. And then we're going to come up towards the back of the chicken, and there's a little tiny muscle right there where my thumb is. That's called the oyster. That is actually the most delicious, delicate piece of meat on the entire chicken. If you're not getting that oyster out every time you break down a chicken, then you need to go back to the drawing board, because that is what makes it all worth it. So again, with the other side, bring your knife back towards the back of the chicken, okay? And then you're just gonna kind of let the back of the chicken guide your knife. Just keep your knife pressed against the back of the chicken and just gently cut out that oyster. And then you're just gonna let the chicken guide your knife all the way back. And there you have it, a leg and a drumstick, or a leg quarter as some would say. Okay, so the bone that separates each breast is called the keel bone, and that's what we're going to be working on next. So first, make an incision along the keel bone, either side. And once you have your incision, then you want to let that kill bone guide your knife all the way down. And you just want to keep your blade pressed right up against the body of the chicken. And when you get to the end here, you're going to come into that wing joint, and again, just locate it and cut straight through. So that's called an airline breast. An airline breast is a breast with the wings still attached. It makes for a really great presentation. Okay, so flip your chicken around. I feel like it's easier to work with the other side this way, and make another small incision. And again, use the body of the chicken to guide your knife down through the breast. And you will come to the wing joint again, just slice straight through that. And there you have your other breast. Okay, so I also like to remove any excess fat from the chicken. You can do this also if you would like, because I like to render it down. I'll put the crispy chicken into cornbread or biscuits after I render it down in a pan. And then, of course, we're left with chicken fat or schmaltz. I'm not Jewish, but I do definitely applaud them on their use of chicken fat because it is very, very delicious. And we have another piece of skin here we're just going to remove. And that is the basics of breaking down a chicken. Now there are a couple of more things that we can do here, and I'm going to show you. If we wanted to take the wing off of our chicken breast, what we're going to do is just lay it on our cutting board, flip it skin side down. You can see the joint there, and just cut your knife in a diagonal motion. And I am slightly angling the blade towards the bone just to get kind of a more natural looking cut. And again with the next breast. Here we go. Again, flip it over where the skin is touching your cutting board. Locate the bone and cut straight through. And actually that little kind of flap of breast meat that's hanging right there is awesome if you were to deep fry these. It gets nice and crispy. So here's our leg quarter, and I'm going to show you how to separate the drumstick from the thigh. You just want to locate the joint just like we did earlier and cut straight through. You'll notice there's a little line of fat that kind of tells you where the joint's going to be. You still want to touch it with your finger, that way you know where the joint is, and it'll give you more confidence whenever you are actually making your cut. So see that little, well, hold on a second, wait till I flip it back over here. There's a little line of fat right there. So I'm just going beneath it on the drumstick side and cutting straight through. Cut off any excess skin that might be hanging off. And there you have it again. A beautiful thigh and a beautiful drumstick. So I want to show you the oyster one more time. That's located on the thigh. So it's that little kind of nugget of meat right there next to the bone. I'll show you with my knife here. Texturally it's amazing, the flavor is amazing. If you're ever in a butcher shop or you're buying chicken thighs already cut and you don't see the oyster on there, that's a sign that either they're not breaking down their own chickens where you're buying them at, or the butcher is not very skilled, or he just doesn't know enough about butchery to get it out. Either way, you definitely want that oyster. I hope you learned something from this video. If you liked it, please subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions or if you'd like to share anything, and I will see you next time. Thank you.